Aloha and welcome to Moondaze Monday, where I tell you about what I see happening when I look at the astrology. Welcome, I'm Queen Mabsy, also known as Michelle Jericho Poplar, Queen Mabsy LLC, here on New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group, live, coming from Aviva Beach, Oahu, Hawaiʻi. Aloha. My awesome friend April, you're gonna see it backwards because my camera's flipped, made us ladies who surf here in Aviva Beach our own little Kotu cups. I love it. I use it every day. Pantha swimwear. Soon to be Pantha merch. Cheers. Ching. Coffee. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I am experiencing what I lovingly call the new moon sleepover. As in, I'm like so sleepy after the full moon last night. Full moon in Leo. So, why was it a full moon in Leo? Because the sun is in Aquarius and the astrological zodiac sign of Leo is the opposite of Aquarius in the sky. So when the sun is in one place and the moon gets around to the other place right across from the sun, the light of the sun makes the moon glow and give us lovely luminescence at night. The moon rules the astrological sign Cancer, associated with motherhood, nurturing, and feelings. So we track the moon to know where our feelings are at. So if you felt really royally lovely or a bit like a princess or a prince and wanting those finer things and enjoying attention, and that would be the Leo vibes of the full moon. And what we were releasing over this full moon were these old attachments, old paradigm attachments. So those things that nobody really prefers anymore. And the consensus reality is building of us all collectively having awareness of certain things, manifesting pattern recognition, fear programs, false evidence appearing real, that patterns that keep repeating themselves, and we collectively don't prefer those things. Do I need to name these things? No. We all can agree there's certain just not worth our time and energy right now, because it's like, oh yeah, interesting, curious. What is happening for us? So the moon yesterday was at 13 degrees at the apex of this, and the sun was at 13 degrees Aquarius. Now, that is what we believe, what we love, which nets to where we belong for using numbers. What they mean. 13. If you were born at a degree 13, belonging would be your thing. Like, you would always feel like, I need to have a sense of belonging. So the collective was looking at where do I belong in community? Let the airplane take all those old paradigms of they're going in opposite direction today, which is good because, you know, it shifts the chi. You know, they have to go with the wind and which direction it's blowing in. And the planets are no different. They move us in directions that might seem uncomfortable, but just like working out at the gym, or sometimes we need to do those things that we don't prefer to do in order to get to where we want to go. And Uranus in Taurus is still retrograde until April. It gets into Gemini, goes direct a little bit sooner than that. That energy is shaking us at our foundations, because the foundations were built on fear. When we really think about the visual media that has been massively consumed once the television was invented and that became accessible in everyone's homes, which started around the Uranus in Gemini time in the late 1940s into the 1950s. So the programming has literally been programmed into us, and now here 2026 humans are now we have the opportunity or the choice point, as the planets are ending their times in one element and moving to the next. As Neptune has already moved into Aries and Saturn is trailing behind to follow. When is our divine timing? What is real? Neptune in Pisces has created so much beautiful technology, but it's also disillusioning. Neptune. So what are we practicing through Neptune and Aries? We will be mastering discernment by feeling it in our bodies, because Aries represents the body, as in the divinity in form. Neptune in Aries is divinity informed. Informed divinity. As in, we are over the next 14 years with Neptune and Aries, we have the opportunity to really embody that divinity informed, because we're going to master discernment. Yay! So set your clocks, see where we're at, make note of where we are now with this Leo, coming out of this Leo full moon, with the stellium of planets still in Aquarius, which is a sign of community. And what is the most important thing? Self-love. Fill up your cup, and then your cup overfloweth into your community. Here's the trick to the survival of the next year to 2026 into the paradigm that we prefer, the new one. And then surrendering and letting go of what we cannot control. Because the old one is still gonna like show up, because we have these little rectangles that like give us notifications and things. So reprogramming the algorithm with Uranus on the fixed star Agol is, he's retrograde and he's like drumming the rhythm. He's like boom, 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 bada boom, boom. That's the resonance, because think of it like a percussion instrument, like something that's constant through the entire song, but can get a drum solo. So we're still like in this low But when when Uranus goes direct, and when these bigger outer planets go direct, it's like there's suddenly a solo where you notice that instrument more than you're playing, listening to the whole piece of the music. Say, we got Mars is kind of like the Mars and Venus. Sometimes it depends on the band. You got the lead singers. And then you got like the Mercury, who's probably like the main guitarist. And then you got Jupiter, who's probably like the bass. Boom, 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 boom. And Neptune, I feel like it's piano. Saturn. Saturn's a sound guy. Saturn's many synthesizer sound guy programming. And Pluto is definitely. So then you have the percussion instruments that are like the drums, the doom, doom, different. Pluto would be like a big, boom, like something like big hang drum, or like, I don't know, even though Pluto's really small, it's very dense, something that sounds very dense. Anyway, if you have any ideas of what you feel, which instrument the planets would be, let me know in the comments below. The moon would be kind of like a flute. I'm just going off on some fun things. I'm like not even talking about the planets yet. But this Leo full moon was something else. In the sense of it is laying the seeds for the month of February. It started on February 1st. And now we're on February 2nd, Moon Day. And the moon is still in Leo as of now, me doing this live. It is going to be moving into Virgo and crossing over the South Node tomorrow. And then right now it's still in opposition to what we value and what we think. So yesterday it went over the heart of the matter, the oversoul, the sun, the high heart. And we took a look at what's the difference between myself, my ego, my identity, me, and then the we, which is the Aquarius, we. And we are also the me, and me is also the we. There's no difference. Like either all is God or nothing is God. The aspects of God that have forgotten that they are aspects of God are the ones that are still working on the lessons to be remembered. And we blip in and out of these dimensions: particle, wave, light is either a particle or wave. Boop, 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 boop. This is why things are not always as they seem. So we can't control what we see in this screen all the time because of the algorithm. So use discernment. We use discernment and we embody the divinity in form, and we remember, oh yeah, there's everything over here and over there. And wherever we be in community, that's where we start. Simple as that. First overflowing cup. So that's how we get through February and beyond, because we are in eclipse season, people. Eclipse season. Now this eclipse is going to mostly be visible in Antarctica, so all the critters down there will be like, yeah, get me my sunglasses so I can see. Yeah, animals are like, alright, cool. So something, whenever an eclipse goes over part of the earth, that whenever an eclipse goes over part of the earth, that part of the earth, keep track from now to 6 months from now, there will be some news around that part of the earth will get a shift. Cosmic chick. Why? Usually like there'll be an earthquake or like some sort of activity to shift the land, or a disruption in the politics. Now, I don't prefer to see any things that I don't prefer. However, the earth is constantly changing and shifting, and some sort of change will come, and will come from a place personally of working in that neutrality point, which over this Leo full moon between me and Leo and Aquarius, we came to that alignment with the embodiment of the feminine, masculine energies and balancing those in our thoughts. Mercury, as all those planets last week just went duck over Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees, which is our belief systems. So our belief systems in the collective Aquarius were visited by our thoughts, by our values, by our actions, and the heart of the matter. So have hope, even though Jupiter retrograde in Cancer is a bit still depressing. It's a depressing energy, as in it reminds us of all those feelings that we've suppressed and repressed and denied, coming up in the moody sign of Cancer, so that we can feel them to heal them. Because Jupiter retrograde is an expansion where we go within and we realize that we are divinity in form, and the answers always come when we look within in a space of fully embodied love and presence, which is the center of your heart chakra, which is this 4th dimensional portal to get to the 5th dimension. Up here, the upper chakras. Some people are really, really knowledgeable. I used to be really all up here, but all like, whoa, and not very grounded in my life. And now I realize that the best way to shifting the external, what I don't prefer, into what I prefer, it starts with how I be within. Breathe into that. So as of Moon Day, coming off of this full moon, preparing ourselves for the eclipse that will occur February 17th, and here in Hawaii it will apex at 2:12 a.m. You will not visibly see it, but you can note 2:12 a.m. on the clock, 11:56 p.m. February 16th, Hawaii Standard Time. That is when the eclipse will start, where it is down in the south. And then 2:12 a.m. is when it apexes, and then 4:27 a.m. on the 17th, that's when it's pop. So most of us might just sleep right through it, but if you happen to wake up and you're in Hawaii, and or wherever time zone you're in, and you happen to wake up at 2:12 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, that could be because you feel the eclipse. And the eclipse will be happening in Aquarius. Now I'm going to go forward in time for this week, because that was February 17th. I'm going way into the future, but I just wanted to give you all a heads up to that shift, because that shift, you you'll feel in your body and in your life. So it's always good to plan when these eclipses are, just so you know. There's some eclipse changey thing that happens that you weren't expecting. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. But when you know there's an eclipse, you could be like, oh, and if you know your house placements of where Aquarius is in your birth chart, you'll know exactly where this eclipse is happening for you and where you can expect this eclipse to shift that sector of your life. For me, it's in my 5th house, so I can expect something to happen with my Aquarius child, perhaps, or because that's house rules children, also rules joy and what we enjoy. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. I don't know, but it will be interesting and curious and maybe even fun to solve. Okay, so moving on to the moon going into February 3rd, Tuesday. So tomorrow, Tuesday, the moon will be moving into Virgo, and it will cross over that south node. And the south node in Virgo is still working on us clearing out what old manifestations that we haven't taken care of, because it's at 10 degrees Virgo. So those old organizing structures that, you know, maybe we need to redo the way we redid our closets, or the way that we do our file management, or more importantly, our old beliefs around our daily routines and our feelings. Moon over the node, more of our feelings. And it is square to the Lilith in Sagittarius. So old thoughts, fear programs around your daily routines and structures will be emerging on the 3rd of February, Tuesday. On the 4th, Wednesday, the moon will move to oppose in the chart Saturn and Neptune. Neptune in Aries, our body embodied, creating a container for our divinity and form. Saturn at the 29th degree of Pisces. On the other side of the Stargate, basically checking our final work before he gives us our results of what choices we made during our final exam. And the moon will be opposed, which is like more of a pull, be like, hey, a stretch, how are we going to feel about that? So we're really going to feel our feelings around what has gone on through the Neptune and Saturn transit in Pisces. So that would be feelings will come up of the last 14, 3, and 30 years. So just have an awareness of that as the moon crosses over from the 4th to the 5th into lovely Libra. Still a bit tugging and pulling at that Aries, because Libra is the opposite of Aries. It's more of a relational versus ego sort of situation, because like, you know, not me, and then that's Libra is also a we, more of a we. So Libra is ruled by Venus, Aries is ruled by Mars. So we're really gonna be examining with that moon will trine to Pluto, checking in with Pluto. How did everybody do when they came through Aquarius, Pluto? How did everybody do with their thoughts reprogramming? How did everybody do with re-examining their values? And how did everybody do with their aligned actions? Well, Pluto at 3 degrees Aquarius will be informing your feelings on how you did over that Leo full moon and that Aquarius in the sign of Aquarius. This is building us up for preparation for how we're going to feel during the eclipse. Then the moon. Oh, temporary server overload. Yeah. Oh, my charts went away. Let me pull them back up. Let the flame carry all your worries away. Bye-bye. Moon calendar. Alright, there we go. Whew. Anyway, that is how I'm feeling. A little bit like, whoa, disillusioned, and still feel like I'm waking up from a dream, and especially with Neptune just crossed over my sun, and now Saturn is on my sun. I was born at 29 degrees Pisces. Yeah, it's definitely feels, it's definitely doing stuff to my cognitive faculties, my nervous system. Pisces rules the nervous system, so really getting those activations, like physically, have been tingly, interesting sensations that I have been experiencing through this shift. And I feel like I've done a God enough job going through it, for it happening for me. Okay, now I'm just going to pull up an ephemeris, because my other thing shut down on me. There we go. Yeah, so where was I? I was on, yes, Moon in Virgo. So then the Moon on Friday, February, there we go. Yes. So, oh yes, Moon in Libra. So, oh. Wheels turning, processing. Then the moon on the 8th from Saturn day. So we go from the 6th moon in Libra to the 7th moon in Libra. Then the 8th moon in Scorpio. Scorpio moons. Now, my child also has Scorpio moon. They can have, their feelings can be like 0 to 10. So, Sunday would be a good day to just be more listening than speaking. More active listening. And then if you feel there are 5th chakra people in your life happen to be a little spiky for their chakra, that would just be the moon in Scorpio. Because like they're gonna sometimes they have to tell you a truth that's not so easy to hear, and they might not deliver it as skillfully as you want them to. However, you can just go, okay, thanks, just, yeah. They will misalign themselves if they were not meant for you, and then you'll get your eclipse business done early. Moving on, so the moon goes through, it stays in Scorpio for 3 days, and it goes into Aquarius, or no, into Sagittarius. The area says, to Sagittarius. And then it goes from the 11th through 13th into Capricorn, from the 13th to the 15th, and the 16th it goes into Pisces. So we're going to have that Aquarian moon on the 17th. So it goes from Capricorn into Aquarius, Capricorn the 13th, Aquarius on the 16th, and then we have that Aquarius eclipse. After that, 2 days after that, on the 20th of February, the planets Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct, because Saturn's going to move into 0 degrees Aries, and then we're going to have that the real embodiment activation of the divine timing, as in, here are your results and your awarenesses. Here is all that you have received, information that you have received. Here's your grades. Saturn the teacher is going to give us our grades. So how we did, and it's never, don't feel bad, good, bad, right or wrong, no shooting on ourselves and all of that good stuff. It's going to illuminate so much, and then you're going to be like, yay, graduate, move on to the next. But what it is doing too, since it's 0 degrees Aries, like we're talking about the divinity and form and embodiment, it's like, all right, so you've examined everything in the spirituals. There's a Neptune and Pisces, and now we get to embody that in form, informed. So we get to be we get to practice discernment, and through what information Neptune is going to, Saturn with Neptune together is going to be a great combo. So I'm not concerned about you know, us ending up like the Matrix or anything like that. It's not going to look like that, because that's not the paradigm I choose. I choose the one where it's more like the Jetsons, because that's more fun, or even gooder. Be curious and excited, and align with your love thy neighbor as thyself, and the algorithms of the things we do not prefer, we do not feed. Let the attachments to needing to be completely right be taken away by that airbrain. Bye-bye. I do not need to be right. And I also do not, there's certain things I do not prefer. I'm just going to keep reading it. I don't prefer that. Do not. Yeah. Anyway, I love you, Mom. There's my mom. Hi. I don't do the everyone thing, because I just allow everyone to watch this later. And for those of you that don't know, I do also I download these and I upload them to YouTube, because I get my uploads and then I download them, and then you upload them and then I download them. Yep. And I am also a astrologer, and I do energy healings. If you're on island, I do energy healings, which looks like Reiki and quantum energy healing, which I was trained in here at New Paradigm Healing Academy. And this work is profound and life-changing. So you can find me at Aviva Wellness and Acupuncture in Aiea on the island of Oahu. Online you can find me at queenmabsy.com or michellejericopoplar.com, and you can book an online session with me either for Akashic Astrology, which looks like me pulling up your birth chart and showing you how the planets are happening for you. Also, I can do distance energy healings as well over Zoom, or if you just need a little energy clearing, I can do remote. So much aloha. I will see you next week on Monday Moondaze. We will go even deeper into the future, past, best, future, because it's all cyclical, really. Next Moon Day, right here on New Paradigm Healing Academy, and also uploading onto my YouTube channel. Aloha, I love you. Bye-bye.